Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's episode, we're going to talk about how bad will things get. Now, for the obvious reason of talking about this, I guess a lot of people, including myself, we're all speculating how bad things are going to get. Now, you can pay attention to what is going on, and you can start to connect the dots, if you will, on how bad things might get. Now, I know I said will, but let's just talk about might and maybes right now because we are unsure. With everything that's just happened, with everything that has gone on, we're unsure as to where this is going to go and how bad this is going to get because we don't know, right? The timeline is not a definite thing, right? We don't have the guidebook of how to fuck the planet up in 30 days. We don't have that guidebook. Somebody else does, right? And it's not 30 days, it's over the course of the next probably 10 to 20 years, right? Right now, guys, we have the possibility of a new variant, right? That's popping up, the Delta variant plus, the Delta plus variant. We have that thing popping up. We have the possibility of 2 more diseases that could possibly explode, making matters worse. There's also talk about a new smallpox outbreak, right? Probably in December or so, or if not January. Nonetheless, we're hearing these new variants and these new diseases pop up. Now, I said before, in a couple of my live streams and even a couple of my videos, that because everything is dying down as far as the fear factor goes, they're going to scare us with more shit. So whether this is a new variant or the possibility or the real possibility of a new war, world war that is, they're trying to keep us in the fear stage because fear, guys, weakens the person's spirit, right? It weakens a person's immune system. It weakens you all the way around. So of course, why not keep this fear factor going? Then we also have the possibility of America being divided. Now, the possibility of America being divided even more is what I mean, because we're already divided now. We've been divided for the last, 20 years, and the division's only getting worse. It's more prevalent now than it was, let's say, 3-4 years ago. But we are absolutely seeing more division, right? Thanks to BLM and the Tiki Torch assholes, we have divisions on the race front. Thanks to the virus, we have division on how to treat the virus and if it's real or not. Thanks to the vaccine, we have divisions now between the unvaccinated and the vaccinated. Thanks to the economic collapse that is coming, we're going to have a division, which we've had for a long time, between the rich and the poor and the middle class. 3 parties instead of 2, right? So now we have all of these possibilities coming to a head all at the same time. We have the global supply chain collapsing as we speak. We have food shortages happening as we speak. We have a lot of things, guys, going on as we speak, and it's just coming to a head, like I said before, to make matters worse. The economy, like I said before, is collapsing. We have the possibility of a dark winter, right? And not the dark winter as in just the power going out during the winter time. We're talking about bad times ahead during the winter months, right? Bad situations, like I said before, the possibility of a new variant outbreak or disease outbreak happening during the winter months. We have the food shortage, which would be part of the dark winter, getting worse to a point where people might actually be on food lines. So these are all possibilities. These are not definites, I mean, the supply shortage, the supply chain collapsing, it's happening as we speak. The food shortage is happening as we speak. But is it going to get exponentially worse? That is the bigger question. Then we have the global unrest, right? We have global unrest all over the world. We have people rioting and protesting all over the world because of the mandates. All of this going on in the middle of a pandemic, which is, again, part of dividing the nation. So all of this is going on, guys. All of this is is colliding together as the perfect storm or the perfect disaster, however you want to look at it. But here's the rub. Of all of this going on, of all of these little events happening, growing into one big disastrous ball of mess created by whether it's the elites or just society itself or the weather, all of this coming together, here is my final thought process on it. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It doesn't matter if the financial system implodes. It doesn't matter if the global supply chain finally and completely collapses. It doesn't matter if there's a food shortage. It doesn't matter if there's going to be more unrest, which we will see in the next coming months. It doesn't matter if there's more unrest throughout the United States or the world. It doesn't matter if you don't talk to your cousin anymore in fucking Kansas. None of that matters because we as preppers are ready. And we should be ready. And we should still be preparing and getting ready. We should not be sitting here going, oh my God, it's all happening. What do we do? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if the fucking bottom drops out tomorrow or fucking 10 years from now. We are ready. Now, I know a lot of you would rather the latter 10 years from now of anything like this happening or coming to a head and happening, because then you'll be more ready. But if you are ready psychologically now for this thing to happen right this minute, you are way ahead of everyone else who is not mentally prepared. Mental preparedness takes precedent over actually being prepared. Being prepared for the hard times, being prepared for the shit you might see, you have to deal with, takes precedence over actually being ready. And some people are going to disagree with that. That is fine. But let me tell you why. You could have all of the gear in the world, guys. You could have the best water filtration system, bug out bags, bug out vehicle, bug out home. You could have the best fucking food supply, garden, livestock. You can have all of that shit. But if you are not mentally prepared, you will probably eat a bullet well before you even go through half of your preps, because you are not mentally prepared to deal with the stresses that come with what's coming, right? So the stresses of everything that's coming together is only going to get worse. And if you can't be mentally prepared for it, all of the shit that you were preparing for means nothing. You have to be mentally prepared. That is the first and foremost thing of being a prepper. Being prepared of seeing someone starving in the street or somebody's kid starving. Right now, obviously, if you have enough, you're going to share, obviously. But if you don't, you're not. And now you have to watch somebody's kid or somebody's family whittle away to nothing while you're sitting pretty and eating. Those are the calls and the decisions you're going to have to make and deal with. That's why mental preparedness outranks being prepared. Second, being physically prepared outranks being prepared, meaning having all your food, your livestock, your waters, all that shit, physically prepared. Because again, it doesn't matter if you have all of this shit. None of that matters. If you are not physically prepared, if you can't walk up a flight of fucking stairs, if you can't run a mile, then you're shot. Then your heart is shot. And again, it does you no good to be fucking, prepared supply-wise if you're not physically or mentally prepared. Because what if you have to run out of your home? What if you have to run down a flight of steps or up a flight of steps? What if you have to actually run away from somebody attacking your home? Now, I know a lot of you going, I got guns. Listen, fucko, you're not John Wick. If you don't have that training, the whole gun excuse doesn't fucking matter either. You got to be well trained and well armed and know when to use it and when not to use it. There's a lot that goes on in a gun than just having one and shooting someone that comes to your front door. Then you got to deal with the psychological aspect of killing someone, which is a huge one for a lot of people. For a lot of the books I've read on people killing other people, and not a lot, 2 books, right? There's a huge psychological factor that goes along with killing somebody. So you have to be prepared for that as well, mentally, right? You have to be mentally prepared to watch somebody die. And if you never watched anybody die, then you're not mentally prepared for it. At least half prepared for that portion of watching someone die. Coming from someone who's watched enough people die, it still would be hard for me to take someone's life, even with my family's life being in danger. I would do it, but I don't think I'd be, okay with it. Like, again, in movies. In movies, you see someone shoot someone, bang, and then the person dies, and they're like, okay, and then they run over to their family, give them a hug. The next scene, they're eating pancakes and waffles and shit, right? Like, that's not the real world. The real world is if you kill somebody and you have morals, it'll affect you. One way or the other, it'll affect you, right? So again, guys, the whole gun thing is not always the easy out, trust me. But nonetheless, guys, you still need to be physically prepared. You still need to be able to fight with somebody if you get into that position. Your guns might not be next to you when you get into that fight. Listen, if the shit hits the fan scenario's on, you should have a gun on your waist at all times. You go take a piss, the gun should be on your waist. Nonetheless, if you get into a situation where you don't have your gun on you, you need to be physically able to fight somebody off. At least fight them off long enough to get to whatever you need to get to, whatever weapon you need to get to use it. Again, guys, physically fit is number 2. And then number 3 is being prepared, having your food, water. But that's number 3. Physically fit, mentally prepared are the 2 things that need to be worked on. Everybody thinks it's just food, water, and fucking Band-Aids, and it's not. It's mentally and physically fit. If you are prepared for that, if you are mentally prepared, you can adapt to whatever comes at you, all right? There are people, guys, who are trained to do this shit. And I told you guys a story before of I think it was an Air Force pilot or Navy pilot. Those guys are trained out the wazoo, right? They have all the training in the world when it comes to their plane crash landing or making an emergency landing and how to survive until help comes. They get all the training in the world. This guy lands in a base, an abandoned airfield in Alaska after he was doing a drill. His plane suffered from electronic malfunctioning, and he had to make an emergency landing. So he makes an emergency landing in an aircraft, an abandoned airfield. He gets in the abandoned airfield. He realizes there's really no one here. So with that, the rescue team comes. They come in about an hour or two later, and they go to rescue him. They don't find him by the plane. They go to a hangar, which is like a little off in the distance. They get to the hangar. He's sitting on a box or some shit with a bullet in his head. The guy ate his own gun because he thought no one was coming to save him. He forgot one of the part in his training was that there's a homing beacon on the seat, right? So I guess when the seat ejects, there's a homing beacon to find them. And there's a homing beacon on the seat that is on its own power. So it's not part of the plane, it's on its own power. So that thing runs for something like either 12, 24, 48 hours. I don't remember what it was. But that thing runs on its own battery supply. So it has nothing to do with the plane shorting out. And yet he forgot about that part of his training, and he wound up killing himself thinking no one was going to come. So instead of trying to survive and go through his survival tactics, he ate a bullet inside of an hour or two of landing his plane, emergency landing his plane. So again, guys, all the training in the world meant nothing because he didn't have the mental capacity to survive. He gave up the will to live, actually. That's what essentially happened. Again, mental preparedness and physical preparedness will outrank being, I guess, supplied prepared with supplies. Sorry, that was a tongue twister, right? So that's what you guys need to get. And none of that shit that's going on, guys, none of it going on matters. You need to be prepared physically and mentally, because whatever's coming at us, guys, we got to be ready to dance. Whatever mumbo jumbo the fucking elites or whoever's in charge is going to throw at us, we need to be ready to dance with whatever the fuck they got coming at us. That's what's more important. All right, guys, so this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like, subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on the Angry Truths channel and the Angry Lensman channel. By the way, the Angry Lensman channel is almost at 1,000 subscribers, so thank you for that. And you can also listen to me on podcast as well. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching.